If you have been shamed for not having a Razor phone or a Sidekick or a Sidekick 2 for that matter, this episode is not for you. You're not cool enough. You're not that person. Just know that right now. Anyways, my name is Ira Cross, and this is First Mic, where we talk to comics about their first time on stage. Today we got the effervescent, the very cool Nickey Winkelman. So cool, she had 2 pink Razor phones. Maybe not 2, but she had them. As you just heard, we have the amazing, wonderful Nickey Winkelman. So, first question, just going right into it. How did I say the question? Because normally I've been saying what made you get into comedy, but what about comedy do you love?
I love making people laugh. I feel like that's an easy answer, but it's true. I love sharing things with people that I feel like resonates with them in a way that can add some levity to their life.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that I talk about, I mean, the formula is tragedy plus time, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the bad things that happen in your life, anything bad that happens, like, well, at least there's a bit in there, right?
Yeah.
So I think comedy for me, what made me get into it was just how can I take anything bad in my life and put a positive spin on it?
Right.
Or how can, not even bad things, but just how can we talk about things and share things with people and connect with people in a way that is positive and makes people laugh and maybe gives people a little bit of relief from the things that have happened in their lives.
Yeah.
But I also grew up watching Saturday Night Live.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. And I started watching original Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
I
okay.
would watch old VHS tapes. There was like a movie rental place. It wasn't a Blockbuster, but it was like a, mom and pop video store that you could go and rent movies. And I would get VHS tapes I would get the best of John Belushi.
Yeah.
And I would just watch that. John Belushi was like a big
he was hilarious.
Yeah,
and he was a
big
pioneer.
Inspiration for me.
Yeah, I love that. So then I got to ask this question. Have you seen what was the movie that they made? Was it called Saturday Night?
No, I actually haven't seen it.
You gotta, if you're a big SNL fan, you gotta check that out.
I was nervous.
It's the first night. So this is me, probably not as big of an SNL fan as you, but love it, respect it, and it's comedy, so it's good. Yeah. And it's literally just that night. Like there's no like biopic backstory on any particular person. Okay. We don't get into like Lorne's thought process on why he made. It's none of that. It's literally just like start of the night. And then goes to right when they start the first like moment in the show.
This is making me want to watch it because I don't know if it was when it came out or I just wasn't sure what it was. I don't know. Life's always really busy. I don't watch a lot of movies.
That's fair.
But I do want to check that out.
Yeah, you should when you're done. Speaking of life, you are a mom. I shout out moms. If you didn't know by now, I shout out moms. You're a mom, so you're busy. I get that.
I'm a mom.
Check it out when you can if you're an SNL fan. Because like I think what it did a good job of doing is like Brandon and I talk about this stuff all the time. We talk about like all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes that you don't know to make something as good as it is. Like seeing all that stuff happen. And I'm sure they left out a bunch of stuff. They just kept what was entertaining, which makes total sense. Yeah. But like all the stuff that happens and like how some of them were like freaking out because it was the first time and like they were worried about making sure they had enough money to make it happen for the next episode. And like it was, you got to check it out.
That's cool. I need to see that. Yeah.
And there's some funny tidbits that happen, but it's not intended to be like a funny, hilarious, laugh out loud thing. It's just like, here's what happened.
I feel like everybody with Saturday Night Live, they have their like favorite cast too.
Oh, 100%.
Original cast, of course, I love, but I love every cast. I know, and when people are like, "Well, it used to be good," people are always saying that. And then there's seasons where you're not feeling it in the moment, but then later when you look back on it, you're like, "Oh, this is when it was good."
Yes,
it's always been good, and it's always been bad, and I say that it's always been bad only because I say they're writing stuff that they don't know if it's going to hit.
Yeah.
It's the first time audiences are seeing it. And not every sketch is going to be great. Some episodes there's like bangers throughout, and then some episodes there's like only one good one.
Yes.
And you never know until you're putting it out there, and I think that's what I love about it.
Yeah.
And I love going back and watching full episodes.
Oh, sure.
To like see, you know, what was good and what didn't hit. And like I almost love the stuff that doesn't hit just as much because I don't know, you can learn from writing.
I was gonna say you could definitely learn from it. Well, and especially like when it comes to SNL, like you hit the nail on the head. They don't know if it's gonna hit. It's untested completely.
Right.
They're like, we think this is funny and it could work.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's huge. I feel like sometimes they'll be like, okay, this is something I threw together real quick. Hopefully it works out. And it hits hard. And then there's other things they spend a lot of time on and they're just like, wow, that fell on its face, like hard as shit.
Or something that they, you know, put in last minute that is great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and then they have their little devices of how to make things funny if they're not going well. You know, obviously the fake breaking and stuff like that, you know. But to me, it's like, and some people hate on that too. I don't know. If it makes you laugh, it makes you laugh.
Yep.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's some people too, like I think the people that consistently hate on SNL, they have like a weird niche of comedy that they love, which is fine. That's awesome.
Fine. Mm-hmm.
But like, just realize that this isn't yours.
Right.
Like there's people have brought up different comics on here and I'm just like, I don't know who that is. But that just means they're not for me because I haven't discovered them and that's okay.
Right.
Like my mom is so funny. My mom brought up Mojo Brooks. She brought him up and I was like, I do know who that is. But in the moment, I was like, I have no idea who that is.
Sorry, who was it that she brought up?
Exactly.
No, I just didn't hear who said.
I'm kidding. Mojo, don't come for me, please. Mojo Brooks.
Oh, okay.
So Mojo, I was looking up, I was like, oh, I just needed to see his face. He's hilarious. He's funny. Okay. But it's one of those things where there's so many comedians in the world. There's so many,
yeah. Which is wonderful and also difficult because you can't really see and consume everything. No. And there is a bit of an oversaturation, I think, with comedy. I mean, there's an oversaturation with media right now because you can get it anytime right in front of you. Yep. I mean, when I was growing up, it was like you turned on the TV, what you got? Whatever you could pick up with your antenna. Yes. I mean, there was cable, but like I didn't have cable.
I went to my grandma's house for cable.
Yeah, or we had VHS tapes. Like, you know, so and the little movie rental place down the street that I would get stuff. So yeah.
Did you grow up in Columbus?
I did. Yeah.
Now I want to know where this movie place was because I'm just curious.
It was on Indianola.
Okay. I didn't, but I know enough people who did.
And it was like in an old house.
I love this.
And it looked like a house when you went in it. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah.
I mean, I was so little that to me, like it looked enormous. When you're little, it's like you're picturing everything much bigger.
Yes. I love everything about this. And I wish we could. If you know what she's talking about, drop it in the comments.
It was Clintonville on Indianola.
Okay.
Because I lived in Clintonville, kind of like between Cook and North Broadway.
Okay.
And I feel like it was in that stretch of Indianola, but now
because that was years ago because you were a kid. Exactly. Okay, diving into the next question. Speaking of all these Columbus connections, why comedy in Columbus?
Well, I'm from here. I grew up here.
Yep.
I did go to college in California and wanted to become an actress. I went to school for theater.
Sure.
And wanted to go to LA. That was not what happened. What happened was I did a bunch of drugs and dropped out of college. But which I do talk about on stage. So I had a tough time in my early 20s and struggled with addiction and substance abuse and mental health in general.
Sure.
Moved back home, but I had already started doing comedy. My first time on stage was while I was in college.
Got you.
And then when I moved back and I got clean and sober, and then I started doing comedy at the Columbus Funny Bone, they had a contest, which they're running a contest now.
Yeah.
And they had an open mic, and so that was where I started in Columbus, was at the Funny Bone open mic.
Got you.
Actually, I entered the contest as my first time on stage in Columbus.
Interesting.
In 2006, so 20 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's like almost to the month, or?
In March.
In March, okay.
Yeah, I think it was.
It's past.
So a little bit, but.
That's really cool.
And Kenny Mock, who's another local comedian, great friend of mine, his first time on stage was also, in Columbus, was also that same contest. Wow. So I texted him in March and I was like, happy 20-year anniversary.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so go into that then. Like, so we'll come back to the original first mic.
Oh, yes.
But tell me about this. This was what do you know what day it was in March?
No, I don't. I had to search back because I know a lot of people celebrate their comedy anniversary. Mm-hmm. My first time on stage was in 2004. I was 19.
Okay.
It was in Santa Barbara, California, and it was an open stage night. That'll be my first mic story. But then when I came to Columbus, I remember I sent an email. So I went back through my email.
That's awesome.
Trying to find, I'm like, what is my anniversary? I have no idea. Oh, I know about when the first one was in 2004. It was in the summertime.
Sure.
And I know this one was sometime in March or April because I emailed in March.
That's so funny.
But that's about when as much as I can tell. There's no pictures. There was MySpace back then, so there was probably stuff on MySpace, but that's all gone.
Yeah. That's so interesting. But, okay, so then how'd the mic go then? So you said it was in March, so it was probably cold as shit.
Yeah. It was good. I feel like all of the things I'm going to talk about tie into each other.
I love it.
I went over my time and didn't know that was a big deal.
Oh.
I didn't know. But that's the thing is that unless you are going to open mics, not going up and around for when they're giving the information, there's a lot of things that I think as comedians, we assume people know going into it. Mm-hmm. And we all know you don't go over your time. No. Especially at an open mic when you have 5 minutes and they got a long lineup. Yeah. You got to stick to your time. But I didn't know. And I was like, I was only a minute over. 6 minutes instead of 5 minutes is a lot. And the person who was running it, the comedian who was running it, a guy named Rick Tempesta, he used to run the open mic at the Funny Bone for years. Okay. He was tough. He was a tough guy. And it was good. Sometimes I feel like comedians today need a Rick Tempesta.
Yeah.
But he was tough. And he came up to me afterward, and that was in the contest. And I had people who came, and I did well in the clap off. And he said, I'm going to put you through. But he was like, don't pull that shit next time. And I was like, I don't understand what the big deal is. And then the other comedians were like, you can't do that.
That's real shit. Don't do that.
Yeah. Oof. But I did go through. I think I was just really egotistical and I was young.
Yeah.
I thought I was really funny. The first time that I'd gone on stage was an open stage night. So I was the only stand-up comedian.
Oh, okay.
And this was my first time really doing a real comedy club, first of all, but also much more of a stand-up experience and not like a variety.
Yeah, it's a whole different energy because they'd probably be like, she can go another minute, it's fine. Whereas with comedy, you're like, no. And that's such a good point that you brought up, people who don't know comedy in terms of the ins and outs of it, they don't know the rules, they don't know the expectations. I remember we've put on some shows here at Rehab, which I don't know if you knew that, but we put on a couple shows here, and my mom was here, which is so fun, for my mom to be here. And so she's watching me run around. She's like, why don't you just lay down and chill? And I was like, Mom, I'm doing it. I got to do this. Yeah. And she's like, you keep throwing up your flash. What you doing that for? I was like, she has. I was like, I'll break it down afterwards because there's a bunch of stuff we're going to knock out. So there's little things like 5 minutes or whatever your time is. There's things like the light. There's things like, I don't know, if you're doing piggyback, you got to do that's probably a term people don't know, like piggybacking. So just introducing the host and stuff and all that stuff that people don't know. So it's funny that you mentioned that your first time on a comedy stage, you just were like, I'm having fun. So,
right. I did what I wrote and and I was like, it's going to take as long as it takes. No.
Oh, that's
terrible.
So funny.
And I think because of that experience, I have a little bit more understanding for comics that are new that don't know that stuff. And I have to remind myself because I run the open mic now at the Columbus Funny Bone. Yeah. It's on the bar stage. Yep. But now when there are new comics, I'm like, they need to know what the light is.
Yes.
How they know they have a minute left, and that when you have a minute left, that means you have a minute left. Yeah, and you don't go over your time.
Yes.
But sometimes I'm doing this spiel for comics who have been doing it for years and they're just kind of not paying attention. And then there's new people who are like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's important. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, I'll even say this though. Sometimes the veteran comics might need that reminder too, though.
Oh, for sure. And some of them think it's not as big a deal because they're like, she knows me. I'm like,
nah, fam, do your 5 and get off.
Yeah. Don't be a diva.
Maybe do 5 minutes and 2 seconds, but so that's so funny. So then, all right. So I was eventually gonna get to that when you were talking about your open mic. And then I was going to eventually come back to your first time on stage, but we're weaving stuff, and I like it.
Well, you started with why comedy in Columbus, and I mean, the why is because I'm from here and I
Sure.
moved back here after school. And so, but I stay here because I like the scene. Also, I have a family here.
Yeah.
But I feel like where I am in my comedy career, I'm no longer trying to go anywhere else.
Okay.
And I don't mean that I'm not going anywhere with my career, but I'm comfortable with my sounds egotistical, but my status in the scene.
Sure.
I've been doing it here a long time. I am in rotation for hosts and feature spots at the Funny Bone.
Yep.
And I'm very comfortable with that being my comedy career.
Sure.
I have a kid. I have a day job.
Yep.
I need health insurance.
Yep.
I think a lot of people are looking at what's next. And sometimes it's good to just sit in what you're doing and say, do I enjoy this? And is this enough? And for me, not only is it enough, but it's fulfilling to me at the level that I'm at, where I feel like if I were to try to go to New York or LA or Chicago, I would be adding a level of stress that I don't want.
Sure. Yeah. I think that's super important. Like you said that you don't want to sound egotistical. I don't think you sound egotistical because I think I think people in this scene know who you are, and again, in a way that isn't I don't know, brash in your face, like, I'm Nickey Winkelman. Like, I've never gotten that energy from you, even though we've never sat down and had a conversation until now, which is awesome. But I don't see it as egotistical. I see it as you're just being straightforward and honest about what's happening and where you are. So that's important.
I try to keep a level of humility, I think is important also in any stage. Yeah.
And the egotistical thought process goes out the door when I think of the things that you do in the comedy community. Like, one, you just said you feel really good about where you are, but also you are doing things that give people opportunities. So So you can stand and be a little more egotistical if you want. That's up to you though.
I feel like I used to do more because I do together with Jesse Pimpinella run the open mic. Yeah. But I used to run the upfront stage.
Okay.
Well, I was the booker, I guess.
Got you.
And we would do shows there 4 nights a week. It was started out with just Tuesdays was stand up. And I think it was even started out as like every other Tuesday.
Okay.
And I worked together with Jimmy Mack, who's the head writer at Shadowbox.
Yeah.
Because the upfront stage is at Shadowbox for people who don't know.
Yeah.
I worked at Shadowbox in, I think it was 2011 or 12. Okay. My years are not always great, but 11 or 12, I was in their full-time cast. And then I stayed on as a writer. And the comedian who was doing the stand-up shows out there moved away. And so Jimmy came to me and he was like, do you want to run this? And I said, well, let's do it together. So we were Tuesdays with Mac and Winks.
That's cool.
And it got popular enough that then they brought in #comedy was doing Wednesday nights.
Nice.
So that was their space before they had their own theater.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. And then they started doing TBD the musical every other Friday. And then we started bringing in other things. They have the science pub that was there on Thursdays. I think that it actually still is there maybe.
Okay.
But we got to the point where we were filling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I didn't have to do anything for Wednesdays because # did.
Sure.
And every other Friday they had TBD, but then I was working on filling the Tuesdays, the Thursdays, and the rest of the Fridays.
That's pretty dope.
And that was very rewarding.
Yeah.
Because I was able to give a lot of people opportunities, especially people who had an idea to create a show.
Yes.
Christine Horvath, who does Babe Roar, I think she did one of her first produced shows there.
Nice.
Amber Falter, a lot of people, I gave them their opportunities, but the space did as well. But I had the opportunity to give those opportunities, and that was very rewarding.
For sure.
But my stand-up took a back burner.
Oh,
I wasn't writing as much back then.
Sure. But that makes sense because of how involved you were with those things. And it's so funny. Like, people have asked me why I haven't gone on stage, why haven't you started? And that's a big reason why, is because I know that this is more important to me than going up on stage.
And that's just as valid.
Exactly.
And that was what I had to think about then. I was like, it's okay that I'm not writing as much, or that I'm not even doing stand-up as much, that I'm going up and doing announcements. I love doing announcements. I'm great at announcements.
Right. So much fun.
Yeah. But And that was that portion of my career. And then I took some time off, and then everybody took time off because there was a global pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I started getting back into it, I tried a couple of times producing shows a few places. I did one at 40 Deuce. I did one, there was another one. But I thought, I don't think I want to do this anymore.
Sure.
I think I want to just do stand-up for me. And so then I started getting spots at the Funny Bone and just doing few shows here and there, to where it was like, okay, I'm just kind of tiptoeing back in.
Right.
And now I feel like I have a good balance where I'm hosting the open mic and doing spots for me.
No, that's really cool. Okay, so speaking of open mics, there's a bunch of things I could pull from and all of that stuff you just said, but I do want to get to your first mic.
Okay.
Tell us about this first mic. You said Santa Barbara, right? Tell us about this first mic at Santa Barbara.
UCSB.
How old were you?
Okay, I'm 41.
That was my question. How old were you is my question.
How old was
hold on. Let me not get in trouble.
Like,
I did not ask her age. I asked her how old she was, and she misheard me. That's on her, not on me.
I would like to go on record that was my mistake.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Directly into the camera.
My mistake. She's not wrong.
But I also am very proud to be 41 because look at me.
There it is. Respect.
I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
19, about to turn 20. It was summertime, I think. And it was a place called Isla Vista Theater, IV Theater.
Okay.
Don't know if it's still there.
I hope it is.
They had a variety show. It was called IV Live, and there was an improv group that closed it out. Can't remember what they were called.
Okay.
I was in the BFA program for acting there.
Okay.
And the class above me was the people that had created the improv group.
Makes sense. Okay.
And I wanted to try stand up, and so you just signed up, but it was like person playing guitar, somebody reading poetry. Like, it was a lot of like people with acoustic guitars. So the audience was ready to laugh.
Yeah.
Was I funny? Don't know. Did I feel like I crushed? Absolutely. I did 8 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
For your first time.
For my first time, I did 8 minutes.
Did it
and
feel
I felt
like
I could have kept going.
Okay.
But that was the time that they gave me. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you theoretically crushed. I love that. So here's the thing, though. You didn't like flat out bomb, because I feel like you'd have known.
I didn't.
You know what I mean?
I didn't bomb. But I don't. Yeah. How well I actually did, I felt like I did.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay.
But again, they're not there for comedy specific. No. Well, they are. They're waiting for the improv group.
Oh,
and they're kind of sitting through everybody else.
Yeah.
So they're ready to laugh.
Yeah.
But it's all kind of hazy again because, drugs.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, so then what made you want to do it then? Was it just, I mean, I know you said you love comedy.
What made me want to do, I think I just always wanted to do it.
Okay.
Looking back throughout my life, I always wanted to try it. I was in a solo performance writing class.
Okay.
And what I wrote, the teacher said you should try this as stand-up.
Got you.
I don't even think that's what I did, though, on the first time that I went up. I did jokes about, like, Jessica Simpson and banner ads and Jib Jab. You guys remember Jib Jab or whatever it was? Like, I don't even remember what it was, but I wrote stuff that I would, like, see on the internet.
Love
that
it.
Was probably still dial-up at that point.
I was like, was it technically called the net at that point? No, that was like 90s. That was like 90s.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, late 90s when it was like the net.
I don't think we had Wi-Fi yet.
No, we did not.
Yeah.
we had that horrible sound that we had to all deal with.
Right.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, you're too young to watch this show.
Yeah.
There's that.
You remember when you had like a cell phone and you had like music playing on speakers and your cell phone would ring and would go I still, even when we were recording, I was like, should I put my phone on airplane mode? Is it gonna
That's so funny. I always put my phone on Do Not Disturb when we record.
Yeah.
Not because I feel like I'm going to get distracted, but because, I am going to get distracted, let's be honest. But mostly because, like, since you're our first guest today that we're recording, everybody else is always like, how do I get in? Even though I've sent directions.
Right.
So I'm like, I can't do this and you got to figure it out. So that's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So now I'm just asking random questions. What kind of phone did you have that was like when you were in college at that time?
I had a Nokia.
Of course.
It was like
who didn't?
It was like all you could do on it other than make calls was like Snake.
Yep.
It was like one of those brick Nokias. I think it was orange.
I was going to ask you if it was the generic blue one or if it was orange, but
so I'll send you a photo. I don't know if you can like put photos in or whatever, but there's a photo of me and my sister on our phones when she was like visiting me in in Santa Barbara, and they're like huge. And then I think I had a flip phone then at some point, and I feel like texting kind of started while I was in college. And I remember the first person texting me. I'm like, why are they texting me? I don't want to read this and type something out on my little number pad. Just call me.
And it cost money.
Yes,
to text.
everyone retext cost money.
Yes.
And then when I moved back, I had a razor. And I think I had like 3 razors because I kept sitting on them or breaking them or whatever.
I knew you were cool, but I didn't realize you were razor phone cool.
A hot pink razor.
Of course. I assumed it was that or all silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then after I got rid of the razor, I went in to get a new phone, and the iPhone had just come out.
That's real.
And they were I went in to get a BlackBerry.
Of course.
The boy I was seeing had a BlackBerry, and I wanted to message him on BlackBerry Messenger, right?
Yes, with the little scroll pearl.
Yeah, the little whatever that thing was called. Yes. Yeah. I did watch the BlackBerry movie and wept because I missed my BlackBerry.
That's fair.
But also, it's really good. It's a good movie.
No, that's solid.
It's not a movie most people should cry at, but I did.
Because you missed your BlackBerry. I get that.
And they tried to convince me to get an iPhone. And I got the iPhone, and I brought it back the same day. It was like an hour later, and I was like, I hate this. And the guy was like, nobody has returned one of these. I was like, well, your streak is over.
That's hilarious. So did you hate it because it was all touchscreen?
Yes.
Technically, they had the button. They had the button at that point.
It did have a button, but in order to type, you had to type using the little keyboard, and it wasn't nearly as good as it is now.
No.
And so I was like, I want a keyboard.
And it didn't click, which was odd.
No.
People hated that. I remember, was it the BlackBerry that had like the clicking?
Yeah.
Yes. See, BlackBerry was doing their thing.
They did. They wanted that physical feel of the clicking.
And now we hate it.
Yeah, now we hate it.
We despise it.
I still miss it.
I do. I've never had a BlackBerry. I had a Droid Aris, and that
amazing.
Yeah, I know. That was probably like the most like BlackBerry-ish because it had the little ball.
Yeah,
you could scroll with that. Mm-hmm. So
trackball, I think was what the trackball.
Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Did you really? Of course you did. We all did. We all did.
I had a BlackBerry. This is gonna. I don't know.
It's going to date you?
Bury me alive. 2014 was when I finally got rid of my BlackBerry.
No way.
That's too long.
That's so
too long. Yeah.
That's why you cried during the... Okay, that makes sense.
I turned 30 that year, and I was like, I can't let technology get ahead of me.
That's fair.
30. So
I respect that.
Yeah, that's when I got... An Android. I still have an Android. I've still never had an iPhone because of that one.
I know, because your text is green. She texts me in green, Brandon. I'm not going to make her feel any type of way about it, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. Okay, last question before we get into our semi-rapid fire.
Okay.
New comics, whether they're brand new to comedy or they're comics that people that are just interested in maybe getting on stage, what would you tell somebody that's new or interested in getting on stage?
Well, tying back into what we were talking about before, the basics.
Yeah.
Don't go over your time.
Yep.
The light tells you when you have a minute left. A lot of people don't know that. Be respectful of the staff and the show. If you have people that come to see you, a lot of times new comics that gather all their friends, and that's great. We love that. Mm-hmm. But then when you're getting off stage and your friends want to come talk to you, try as best as you can to politely say, I'll talk to you after the show. Be a good audience member. Watch the other comedians, not only because it's polite, but because you can learn a lot from watching the other comics. But also just like be yourself and have fun. You know, anybody who wants to try stand up, I always say do it.
Yeah.
I'm never like, no, I don't think you'd be good at it. No, if you want to try it, I tell everybody, just do it.
Yeah.
Go to an open mic. Sometimes it helps to go to an open mic first and just watch before you go up. When new people come to the one at the Funny Bone and I'm like, they say, well, I kind of want to try it. Like, you can join the workshop. You don't even have to participate in the workshop. You can just listen. You can watch the show. You don't have to put in your name in the bucket or sign up or anything. Just until you feel ready. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll be here when you're ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. I think just tying all your advice together, just like, one, do it, but also be respectful. I think that's like the biggest piece of it. But a lot of great things there.
And new comics who have been doing it for even a year or two. I think at a year or two, you're still new.
Sure.
It takes a long time to not feel new anymore. Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes people get comfortable and then they stop treating it like, you have to treat it like a job, even if it's not your job.
Yeah.
Show up on time, be polite, especially to the staff and the space that you're in. I think people there are some people who treat it like it's a hangout.
Yep.
And then some people who treat it like a job.
Yes.
And you can hang out at your job. That's fine.
Yeah.
Let it be both.
Yes.
Let it be fun. But remember that what you do off stage affects your career just as much as what you do on stage.
Damn. I'm taking her advice on my own life now because I feel like that's good advice just in general. Okay. Rapid fire.
Okay.
Brandon hit me with our light already.
Okay.
So I'm going to try not to go over, but
I don't know if I go to
he never gets mad at me, but shit.
Can I need to sip.
Shit. Okay. So I'm going to distract the camera while she gets her sip and just, yeah. Okay.
So I came back on camera for the sip.
Yes. Yeah. That was good.
I'm ready. So Rapid fire.
It's not that fast. Okay. So I told you I was going to skip some of them if we ended up having to. So we are going to skip some. So the first one, I am interested in this one. Who is your favorite Columbus comic, not including you?
That's so hard to do rapid fire because there's so many that I love. I mentioned Kenny Mock earlier. Yes. I love Kenny.
Love it.
He was great from when he started and he's great now. And he's not only just a great person, but he puts so much into his craft. Mm-hmm. And he records every set and watches it back. He used to play football and he's like, you gotta watch the game.
Yes.
Yeah. So he records and then watches his set back. And then he's very intentional with every word, every movement. He's very into his act outs.
Love that.
Not only is he very funny, but I really respect his level of craft.
Yeah.
A few other people that come to mind, Amber Falter. Mm-hmm. Absolutely love Amber. She's very unexpected. I always like to watch her sets because I'm like, I don't know what she's going to do this time. And it's always great. I knew I was gonna
You're okay.
Blank on this one.
You said two people.
I said two people. Yeah.
I will say no one's ever said Kenny, but people have said Amber.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me.
She's the Columbus sweetheart. I mean, she's like, I feel like our Columbus comedy prom king and queen is like Amber Falter and Ty Moore. That's what I always say. Like, protect them at all costs.
Word.
They're wonderful people and both very funny.
Ty should be here later.
Oh.
Yeah. So
he's
that's
great.
Funny.
Absolutely love Ty.
Ty's great.
Very funny. Great audience member. Has one of the best laughs.
He is a great audience member.
Yes, he's a great audience member. Has a great laugh and it's genuine.
It is.
His jokes are so funny. His persona on stage, like his energy.
Yes.
Absolutely love Ty as well.
First time I met Ty, we wrestled.
Oh, amazing.
For a sketch.
Okay. For a sketch. Okay. I was
but it was real wrestling.
Treat it like a job.
Right. But it was real wrestling in that like we didn't have a winner determined. And I beat him because I think not because I'm a better wrestler, but I am. I legitimately wrestled in high school.
Probably because he didn't want to hurt you.
Probably, but I also think he wasn't expecting me to actually like do anything. I think he was like, "Oh shit, he's like kind of a little bit strong."
But
didn't
honestly,
expect
like
that.
looking at you and looking at him, like it's a toss up. I'm not sure who would.
That's fair. No, I respect that. But that was the first time I I'd seen him in passing, kind of how like with you and I. But the first time I like met him, we wrestled, so that was funny for something that Adam. Little put together, of course.
And before we move on to the next one, I also have to give a shout out to Jesse Pimpinella, who runs the open mic with me. Another comic who's also a wonderful human being. Very funny, great energy.
Yeah.
Love his energy.
Yeah, he's great. He's awesome. Okay. I'm skipping questions. Don't yell at me.
I'm sorry.
Brandon never yells at me. I make it seem as though Brandon is like mad at me. Brandon's like, dude, I gotta edit it either way. It's fine. It's fine, dude. Y'all can't see him, but he is literally like this. I will wrap this up. Anyways, okay, skipping questions. Okay, I'm gonna make this one fast. Could you do 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or an hour special?
20 and 30, yes, definitely. I want to record a 30-minute special. I've actually been talking to a comic who I've known for years about recording something.
Love it.
But I think I want to start with 30 minutes. It just feels a little bit more doable.
Yeah.
Can I fill an hour? Yes. It's not an hour I would be proud of, I think, recording.
Yeah.
I just headlined at Go Bananas in Cincinnati. It was my first comedy club headlining, which was awesome. Wonderful experience. And I did 50 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, and I remember talking to my friend Michael Malone, who I've known for years, and I called him ahead of time. I was like, "What's your advice?" And he was like, "It's gonna fly by. You're gonna feel like you could do another hour."
Yeah.
And I called him afterwards. Was like, "Yeah, it flew by."
That's awesome.
And I got to 45, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta wrap up."
That's funny.
Yeah.
We might have to talk about that offline, off of this camera.
Okay.
Okay, so last 2 questions, very easy ones. Least favorite social media, favorite social media, and then where they can find you on social media.
Least favorite social media and favorite social media. Least favorite social media, LinkedIn. I refuse to join it. And I have a professional career. I do. And I have somehow managed to never join LinkedIn and never join Twitter.
Respect.
Okay, Twitter, first of all, is X now, right? But when I was first starting as a comic, Twitter was the social media you had to do as a comic because it was all about how many retweets you would get or likes you would get.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the beginning of the shift from credits to socials. Because it used to be as a comic, in order to progress in your career, you wanted credits. You wanted Bob and Tom. You wanted Showtime. You wanted, Comedy Central. Do any of those exist?
Comedy Central Presents is not anymore?
No, I don't think so. But but Bob and Tom was a big one. That was a big first Bob and Tom still exists, but that's was a big first credit. And that's a credit that still matters.
Sure.
But now it's all about followers.
Right.
You don't ever have to do any of those things in order to headline. You don't ever have to have done a single comedy show now to headline.
Yeah.
You just have to be funny and Hawk Tua or whatever. And then suddenly now you're headlining comedy clubs.
It's my favorite moment of this whole conversation.
Please don't name the episode that.
Brandon.
But honestly.
Brandon, you heard her.
No,
don't do it.
Don't do it. This happens to me every time I do a podcast. The title of the episode ends up being my most unplanned moment.
Yeah.
I did a podcast with Dino Tripodis and literally the title of the episode is The Color of My Pee. Don't title this one that either.
Don't do that, Brandon. Please don't do that. I know you're editing right now. I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at you. Don't do it.
I can't help myself.
Don't do it. There's a better There's something better in there, Brandon. I know
there's something better in there. But anyway, it's
Santa Barbara comic. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to give him material because I know him. He'll hear it and he'll be like, "Oh." Anyways,
title it. Don't run the light. Because I am right now probably going overtime. But it shifted from credits to followers, and you had to be on Twitter. That was the big one. You had to be on Twitter. I don't think Instagram even was a thing yet.
Probably not.
And Facebook just wasn't about that. Facebook started out as a yearbook. It was only for colleges.
That's the best way to put that, and I've never heard it put that way.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I mean, obviously you can watch the Facebook movie, but it was because it was a combination of a yearbook and Hot or Not. I feel was what the which is weird.
Because it started out as damn near revenge porn for him.
Kind of, yeah. But it was only available to college students in the beginning. So Facebook wasn't really that big of a thing, and there was no Instagram, so it was all about Twitter. I never joined Twitter, never joined LinkedIn, but favorite is Instagram. I love Instagram.
Instagram's pretty great.
Yeah.
I do love Instagram. And I feel like Instagram is where most people see our clips anyway.
Which is great because it over the pandemic it was all about TikTok and TikTok completely overwhelms me. I do have a TikTok, but I'll upload things and then get out of there and then go later and then I'm like, "Oh, I got 80,000 views," or "Oh, this got 9." I don't get it.
Yeah.
And I don't have the time to
there's no rhyme or reason.
I don't have the energy to put into it to figure it out. And so I just will throw things on there and then go back to enjoying Instagram.
Yeah. I feel like, do you still have to know TikTok dances? I don't know.
I kind of want to do TikTok dances, but just for my own amusement, not to I don't know.
To blow up.
Yeah.
Okay. So
millennial TikTok dances? That would be so fun.
You mean all of the dances we already did because there were songs for all of them already? And
let's go back. I want to go back through and find stuff that was trending 5 years ago that was only trending for a minute and do that.
And then bring it back.
We'll do the ice bucket challenge.
Or even what was it, the mannequin challenge? Remember that?
I don't even remember that.
See, it was that fast.
We got to find
planking. Oh my God, I forgot about planking.
Parkour.
That's the name of this episode. Millennial trending.
Let's
trends.
Do it. I'm down.
I'm so down. They were harmless. Planking, I don't know.
Millennial trends were wasn't there a cinnamon thing?
The cinnamon challenge? That was not a millennial thing. That was not.
Was it dangerous?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't do any of these things. I didn't do the ice bucket one either, and that was a charity one.
I did that one because I had 7 people call me to tell me I have to do it because they tagged me in something. I'm like, they actually called me.
I don't have enough friends.
Yeah. Good for you. Okay, so last thing before we officially sign off. you got some stuff coming up at the end of the summer.
Yes, I'm going to be at the Columbus Comedy Festival.
Love it.
We're doing FAF again, which is our female AF show. Amber Falter will be on it, and 2 other fantastic women on that show. I think it's on Friday at Mad Lab.
Okay.
But it may move because I mean, they've got a whole festival to plan, and so sometimes shows got to get juggled around. Yeah, check out the Columbus Comedy Festival to see where I'll be. I think I'll probably have I'll have a few spots there.
I love that. Yeah. I think, literally at the recording of this, I don't think the website is live with all the details, but by the time it comes out, it should be.
Yeah.
Because it'll be like mid-July.
And they have if you go to their website, then you can follow their socials. And they're good about posting on the Instagram
social media. Instagram, not Twitter. Because we don't like Twitter.
Is it X?
It's X. I don't use Twitter either, to be real about it. It's
my
Twitter.
My bio on TikTok just says, "Is this Twitter?" Because that's how much I love both of those.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Well, thank you for being on. Thank you for sharing some awesome insight, wisdom, thoughts.
Fun. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you had fun. No, that's what we aim for. It's just a conversation, and we're talking. And y'all don't know this, but she made sure she put on good shoes for this.
I did. I put on my stage shoes.
And I'm happy she did, because then she felt better.
I was wearing steel-toed boots that
they were steel toes?
Yes.
Are they really? I can't see them in the dark. So she did this for us, and I appreciate it. So thank you again. Yeah, of course. And we'll definitely, like, once these comes out, we'll put everything out so you could see it all, and your glamour can be out there, and it will not be called a weird random name.
No, we'll make it something respectful.
Get something respect. I will say, what'd you say? So that's the name. That's the name. Something respectful. Look at that, hand on the hip, something respectful. All right, to sign off so we can stop fake making Brandon mad. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're listening to the podcast on Spotify and or Apple, if you're not, you should go do those things. And thank you to Rehab for hosting us. Thank you for Brandon for his patience. And thank you for Nickey for being on.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Woo-woo. That's it. Play the music. I wish I could play the music. I love this. All right.